On this special edition of Inside Industry, we're saluting companies who prove that manufacturing is still alive and well in the old US of A. Today's feature is ICM Controls, a company specializing in the manufacture of electronic controls. We're going to see how this progressive corporation has managed to flourish in such a challenging time for manufacturers and how a company can still truly succeed making it in America.
Each and every day, laborers forge high-quality products in factories all across America. And wherever manufacturing takes place, we want to give you a one-of-a-kind glimpse into how it's done. So come along so you can see how the gears really turn inside industry.
Syracuse in December reminds me of the old adage, right now it's warm and sunny somewhere else in the world. And while ICM can't control the weather, they do have a lot to say when it comes to regulating things indoors. I went to speak with the president, Ron Cada, to learn more. Hey, has anybody seen Ron Cada?
Tab, welcome to Syracuse.
Hey, thanks so much, Ron. I so appreciate you having us in today, and what a gorgeous facility. I know I'm just seeing the tip of the iceberg, but speaking of icebergs, what is it, like 20 degrees outside? I just flew up from Florida today.
Well, actually, it's only 11 degrees, but you know what? I've got to hand it to you. You're a brave man for coming to Syracuse in the middle of winter.
Thanks.
But you're in good hands today. We're all about controlling the environment. I'm going to take you on a tour today, so let me take your coat, and away we go.
I'm very excited about that. Follow me, guys. This way. ICM has been building controls for the heating, ventilating, and air conditioning industry for over 25 years. Any control you can think of, they've either got it or can make it. ICM even produces their own residential wall thermostats. But it's not just their wide product range that sets ICM apart. It's how those products are manufactured. I discovered that vertical integration is a major part of your business philosophy. Tell us a little bit about that.
We're really three factories in one. We have the printed circuit board fabrication operation, a complete automated assembly operation for electronics manufacturing, and we have our injection molding operation. Put the three together and it really gives us a great value proposition. We're able to deliver a product at a globally competitive price, reasonably short lead time, and we like to always joke that special orders don't upset us.
Along with their progressive business philosophy, ICM is also pushing the envelope on keeping their operations environmentally friendly. The facility itself was designed with the most energy-efficient building materials and even makes major use of windows for lighting and temperature control. Ron, I understood that you went from about a 30,000 square foot building facility to an 84,000 square foot facility. Is that right?
That's correct, Tab. Yeah, we build energy efficiency products here at ICM, and we felt that it was critical that we also live in an environment that also represents what we're selling in product.
Sure.
And the amazing thing is that our power bill hardly changed between the two facilities. So I think we did a great job energy efficiency-wise here.
Let's go back to the people and the processes. I understand there's a unique relationship that you have with your customers out on the front lines and your tech support center.
Yeah, what we do differently from anybody else in the industry is we actually have our engineers who design the product also do a lot of their own technical support.
Really?
Two great things happen because of that. One, the chances on them letting out a product that isn't really good is really small because they have to deal with the phone calls.
I'm going to be calling you, yeah.
Yep. And two, more importantly, is that since we're a growth by products company, the engineers actually get firsthand feedback right from the field, and it's a driving force to our product innovation.
It sounds like your customers are helping feed the innovation pipeline, and it doesn't get any better than that. So we're down here on the ground floor. Let's go find out where it really comes together.
Let's go.
The first of ICM's three-part vertical integration system is their circuit board manufacturing. Whereas most companies outsource this process, ICM stays efficient by building these parts themselves. So Ron, how many companies in your segment, in your arena, actually handle the process of circuit board fabrication?
Absolutely none. Our printed circuit board fabrication operation is one of the three factories contained here at ICM. And we are right now in the middle of the printed circuit board fabrication shop. What I'd like to point out is you'll notice all the white tanks in the background. The white tanks are part of what we refer to as water world at ICM. We consume over 25,000 gallons of water a day in our printed circuit board fabrication process. Of that, we recycle over 24,000 gallons. That's part of our commitment to reducing our environmental footprint, and you can see by this investment that we've accomplished that task.
The first step in circuit board fabrication is to drill holes in the boards that will be filled with copper to make them conductive. From there, they image the actual circuit pattern onto the boards. Finally, after a few more steps of cleaning, printing, and drilling, the boards are ready to head to assembly. Part 2 of ICM's vertical integration strategy.
So we're done with the circuit board fabrication process, Ron. What happens next?
We're heading into the primary assembly operation. So this is where we actually do the electronics assembly. This is our surface mount line. We're going to print solder, populate the parts, reflow solder. We're then going to move on to the through-hole line up here.
Okay.
After we hit the discrete component assembly, we'll then move on to the rest of the facility where we'll put in the hardware terminals, different connectors, the hand-inserted components that we normally can't automate on the assembly process. We'll then take the board, it'll go through the various wave soldering operations that we have, wave soldering either to conformal coat and then on to final assembly. So all of our products here are built in mixed technology.
Well, for me, explain exactly what mixed technology is all about.
That's a good question. Let's walk up this way and I'll show you. So Tab, this is a classic example of what I was referring to as mixed technology. We have our surface mount components, our discrete components, some of the connector hardware, the terminal hardware. Yeah. So this board's incorporating both surface mount and through-hole technology, hence mixed technology.
Really starting to take its shape. So looks like we're almost done. What's next?
Well, after this, what we'll do is if the board requires conformal coating, it'll get conformally coated, and then it'll go off into final assembly where the product takes its final character.
With the boards themselves complete, many products still require housing and other components to make them function. That's where injection molding comes in.
So Ron, this is part 3 in the vertical integration process. This is the injection molding area?
That's correct, Tab. And what we do in here is we use 3 different family size machines. We have our 25-ton machines. Those are injection molding our small parts that we use in our products. We have our 80-ton presses. The 80-ton presses will mold our thermostat covers in a wide variety of different smaller enclosures. We have our 170-ton press, and that's going to mold our larger enclosures that get used in our product.
After some refining, the molded components are ready to be assembled with the circuit boards to make a finished product.
You know, Tab, we build over 2 million controls a year. We do it in 1,000 part numbers. And here's a classic example of what the final assembly operation is and demonstrating what vertical integration is. As you saw earlier, we started with the printed circuit board fabrication. We fabricated the printed circuit board. We then went through the assembly operation.
Right.
And then we finished in injection molding. And then here's the transformation of the product from here to here. This is the finished product that will end up shipping to the customer. I've got some simple examples of the 1,000 part numbers. Here's another plastic housing with a circuit board. Some boxed product right here. These are replacement controls that we're a big force in the market on replacement controls. And then we'll finish with the thermostats. We've been producing thermostats for almost 15 years now. One of the unique things on our thermostats is we've been laser engraving, and that makes it, the conventional stuff was pad printed up until we brought this to the market.
So it doesn't rub off.
So it doesn't rub off.
Basically, that's great. And again, back to the quality and vertical integration being so important to your industry. Ron, I can't thank you enough for bringing us here to ICM and taking us through this process. It's been an enlightening experience, to say the least, and I'm sure my viewers share that sentiment. And you know what, folks? This just goes to show that you can succeed making it in America.